Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing in another fly time video today. Today it's a dry fly, and it's one I've probably done before, but it's a different twist, showing off some new products we carry in the shop. And I don't think I've done a spinner like this in the blue-winged olive, but I know I've done a few blue-winged olive patterns. Reason being, we have a lot here in my area, and you probably do too, especially if you're an East Coast guy. So we have a lot of blue-winged olives, and they hatch a big part of the year too, so we see them a lot. Anyhow, I'm going to show off a couple new products like EP fibers, Enrico Pugliese, and Trigger Point. I use it for my caddises, for dry droppers and stuff. It's awesome. It floats real well. Put a little bit of floatant on this tiny little fly and it'll float great for you. So let's get into tying it. Here you go. Here you're going to see it in the vise and the material list to tie it. Alright guys, here you see the fly in the vise. Very simple pattern, very easy to tie. This is going to be a quick one. Let's get into tying it. Here it is, your blue-winged olive spinner. For a hook, what we're going to start out with is a Firehole 419. This is a size 18 hook, so it's a very small fly. I tie it in 18s and 20s mostly. I don't like to fish much smaller than that. And we're just going to start out with some olive thread. This is 70 Denier because you want to keep it small. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some Coq De Leon, and this is just medium Pardo. You can use whatever tailing material you like. This is just what I like. And I'm going to use about 4 or 5 fibers here. I want to make that about the length of the hook shank, so I know where to tie it down here. And then we're just going to wrap it back, put it a little bit on the side, and it'll wrap right up on the back, get right down the center where you want it there, as you can see. And wrap right back to the bend. But don't go over the bend because you don't want it to ride down over your hook point. So, towards your hook point, I should say. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some extremely fine dubbing from Nature Spirit in blue-winged olive. And I am going to go extremely fine with this. We do not want much dubbing on this at all. So, let's cover up our thread. We're going to work our way back to that bend, back to our tail. Make sure we get it where we want it, and then we're just going to wrap forward with this. Okay, you see I did not build up much at all there. And I got a lot left on the hook, on my thread, so I'm going to take some of this dubbing off. And then you see how when I pulled it off, it kind of strung it back out. So we're just going to tighten that up and go back in here and clean it up just a hair. Okay, you see how thin I'm keeping this fly. That's very important. Next thing I'm using is some EP fibers. This is Trigger Point. This is something we just started selling at the shop. It comes in a skein, and you just tear a couple pieces off. And this is what we're going to use for the wing. So I already have a piece cut off about the width I want. And we're just going to put it on the top of this fly. To do that, I'm going to take my EP fibers and I'm going to put it underneath the thread. And I'm going to pull it up and set it on the top where I want it to go. Okay? So there it is sitting on the top. Now I'm going to wrap it down. And then I'm going to figure eight it on here. So I'm going to wrap behind it and in front of both of the wings. So get this on there where you want with the figure eight wrap to hold it into place. Sorry for my fingers being in the way there. And then once you got that wrapped on there nice and it's in place where you want it, I'm going to cut this off a little bit here, just shorten this up. And we're going to make a head. We're going to finish this fly off. You see I have the head area left. And also down here on the bottom, it's not real clean underneath the wing. So we're going to clean that all up by adding just a touch more fiber. Sorry, not fiber, dubbing with the superfine dubbing. And then we're just going to figure eight this again, both sides of it. and clean it up and make a nice head and tie it off, and that's all that's to this fly. Now, get you see how I made a nice little head there. I'm going to whip finish. And then what I'm going to do, after I get my whip finish on there, I'm going to take this wing and I'm going to pull it straight up in the air. And I'm going to hold all the fibers together. And then about the distance of your hook gap right here, that's about the distance of the wing that I want to cut off. So I'm just going to go above it, cut it off there. And there you have your wing length. Comes out real nice and even for you. So that is all that is to that blue winged olive pattern. Okay guys, I hope you liked that pattern. Like I said, it was a quick one, a very easy tie. Hardest thing for me was keeping the camera focused and my fingers out of the way on such a tiny fly. It's one that I use. I carry it in my box. I like fishing spinners a lot of times. It's an easy meal. It's an easy target for a trout. You know, it's not going to fly off. It's the imitated dead insect. So, you know, I find it a lot of times, especially for me with the sulfur hatch, I like to fish a spinner over a catskill or something often. And I have a lot better luck with the spinner. But that's just me, in my personal opinion. And this fly here, change the color of the dubbing on it. This is just for the sake of showing you the pattern. Change the color of the dubbing to match the insect that's coming off. Use the CP fibers for your wings and you'll work great. So, you know, sulfur for a sulfur color. You can tie it big for a March brown if you want, whatever. Just match the colors of the wings and the body, but use the same materials. So I hope you like this. I hope you learned from it. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. Put it right down here for you now. And I'll be glad to answer your questions. I'm done guiding here this year, it looks like, with my broken foot. I'm going to be down probably the rest of the year. So if you have any questions, you know, you need anything tied, I got lots of time to tie. So hit me up if you're looking for any custom fly orders. holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. And don't forget, as always, guys, any of the materials used in these videos, part of the way we do these videos is it has to be stuff from the shop. So anything that I show you in the video, we're going to carry the material in the shop to tie it. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and please head over to the shop if you need any materials to tie it. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Sean Holsinger.